Would you like to be rich? Yes? Then you found the right video, because in this video, I will teach you how dividends are the key to becoming rich in today's world. Now, this is especially important if you're someone that doesn't know how to invest or hasn't started investing yet, because maybe you're really confused at how complex everything is. Or maybe you're someone that's already started investing, okay? And you've got a few $1,000s here and there in some stocks, some funds, but you've not made any significant progress towards that goal of becoming rich. And if you watch till the very end of the video, I'm going to reveal the very first step that I would take if I was like you and I was just starting out, okay? I'm going to actually show you one ETF, that stands for Exchange Traded Fund, that actually has a lot of these companies that I will discuss in this video, all in one place, okay? So that will be right at the end, but yeah, don't go anywhere, because I'm actually going to explain how dividends are the key to becoming rich, okay? Let's go. How's it going, guys? My name is Ricardo Torres and I'm a dividend investor, and I actually plan on becoming financially independent before I turn 40 years old, okay? That means that at that point, the income that I receive from passive sources will be more than my expenses to live, okay? Will I be rich at that point? Well, that really depends on your definition of rich, okay? Do you want to live a very rich life and afford all the fancy things, okay? In that sense, no, I will not be rich, okay? However, there's another sense of the word rich that I personally prefer, and that is just having the freedom to do things, okay? Having time freedom and not having to work for that income. Because if you've got money coming in passively that you don't have to work for, then that just frees up your time, okay? We've all got 24 hours in a day. We're all the same, okay? But if you don't have to work during those hours, you've got more times to live life, okay? And in my opinion, the way I see it, that is being truly rich. But let's take a step back for a minute, okay? Let's say you're starting out. Let's say you're at the beginning of your journey. How do you actually get rich, okay? Well, you're going to basically have to amass quite a lot of money, okay? Now, depending on how much you think is a lot, maybe it's $1 million, maybe it's 10 million, maybe it's $100,000, okay? That really depends on you, but you are going to have to amass that money. Now, unless you've got a big inheritance or your family's got a lot of money, you're going to have to earn that money. And then once you earn that money, the most important step is to invest that money to make it grow, okay? You're not really going to get very far with just saving. Now, when it comes to investing, you can invest in real estate, you can create a business, you can even buy a business, okay? There's many, many ways to invest that money. As long as it grows and as long as it's not too risky, you are probably going to be okay. However, there is one way that, in my opinion, and in the opinion of a lot of people, is simply the easiest way to get rich, and that is with dividends, okay? Now, this is called dividend growth investing, and this is what my channel is all about, okay? So if you're interested in learning, make sure to subscribe to my channel, make sure to click that little bell icon so you get notified whenever new videos are released, okay? But what dividend growth investing is simply buying stocks of companies, well-known companies, okay, often called blue chip companies like Coca-Cola or Procter Gamble or Verizon, okay? These companies, what they have in common is that they pay dividends, okay? And if you don't know what a dividend is, let me tell you what it is, okay? It's simply an amount of money. It's part of that company's profits, okay? The money that they generate that gets paid to you as the shareholder. Now, to be a shareholder, all you have to do is own those stocks at the date that they pay those dividends. And for a lot of these companies, they pay every quarter, so every 3 months, okay? And the reason why this is so powerful is that you actually get money in 3 different ways, okay? So let's say you've got a few shares of Coca-Cola company, okay? We all like Coke, of course we do, it's a great fizzy drink, but it's also a great company that pays dividends, okay? So you've got a few shares and 3 things will happen, okay? The very first thing is that the price of that stock should go up in the long run, okay? Now, in the short term, nobody knows what's going to happen, okay? Nobody knows if the market will go up and down or sideways, all right? It's very unpredictable. But in the long run, the price of your stocks should go up. The second thing is that you will be paid a dividend. Now, the best thing about dividends, apart from the fact that they are basically free money, is that they are independent of the stock price. So even if the price of that stock or the entire market tanks after a while, maybe we're getting into a recession, which, we might be getting into a recession fairly soon, okay? This is now 2019. Nobody knows, right? But that's the best thing, right, guys? the dividend is set. The company will say, right, we're going to pay $3 per share in dividends. And even if the stock price goes down by 50%, okay, which is like worst case scenario, you will still get paid those $3 in dividends regardless of what happens, okay? So that's actually why this strategy is a lot better for most people when it comes to investing in stocks, because it really helps to keep you calm, okay? You know you're getting that dividend regardless of what happens with the stock price, so you can actually enjoy a lot more, okay? And then the third way that you'll make money is because these companies, they don't just pay the same dividend and they call it quits, right? They are very good at increasing that dividend like year after year after year. Because inflation exists, okay? Things cost more as time progresses, therefore the value of money is not the same as time goes by. Therefore, these companies want their shareholders to keep their purchasing power. That's why they increase those dividends. But they don't just increase them, with inflation, like 2-3% a year. A lot of these companies increase the dividends every year by 7, 8, 15%, okay? It really depends on the company, but the point is that you should buy companies that increase the dividends and do it every year through thick and thin, okay? Regardless of what happens to the world, regardless of what happens to the market, okay? That's the kind of company that's going to make you rich. Okay, so maybe none of that really made that much sense, so I will give you an example, okay? Because hopefully you'll be able to understand it a bit better with a clear example. Let's say you've got $10,000, okay? You've got $10,000 that you've been saving up over the last few years, and with those $10,000, you decide to buy a few stocks, okay? A few dividend growth stocks that pay a 3% dividend yield, okay? A dividend yield is simply the percentage of what the company pays in dividends in relation to the stock price, okay? So 3% of $10,000 would be the same as $300 every year, okay? Or at least that year, because hopefully that dividend will increase the following year. So that's already great, okay? You've got those $10,000 already working for you, but on top of that, okay, you save $1,000 every single month. And again, this is just an example. You can play around with these, okay? Just search for like a dividend calculator on Google or some sort of compound interest calculator, because then you can actually, calculate your own scenario, okay? But for this example, $1,000 every single month on top of those $10,000 that you invested initially. But the real power of dividend investing comes when you reinvest those dividends that you earn, okay, instead of spending them, right? You really get compound interest working in your favor, and you do it over a very long period of time. Maybe very long, or at least fairly long, okay? At the very least, 5 to 10 years should be the very least that you should invest for, okay? So in this example, after 20 years have passed, you've now got a portfolio that's just under $1 million. Yeah, $1 million. I'm not lying. Do this for yourself, okay? And the dividend income that this portfolio generates because of all those dividend increases is now at $27,000. So at that point, what do? Do you go part-time at your job because you don't need that much more income because you've already got those dividends paying you money, right? And you've also got that massive financial cushion. I mean, I say massive, it's almost $1 million, right? But you've got more options. You can go part-time, you can quit your job altogether, okay? If your expenses are lower than $27,000 a year. Or maybe you love your job and maybe you love your career and that extra money allows you to go on more holidays every year. Or visit friends that live in different continents, or just start a new hobby that requires some money, okay? The point that I'm trying to make here is that being rich in this way, okay, obviously you need a lot of money for this, okay, which your investments help to create, but being rich in this way gives you choice, okay? And that is the biggest freedom of all, okay? You can be free in many ways, but if you have time freedom, if you are in charge of your time to say, you know what, today I'll go to the beach and I'll read a book, okay? And I won't have to work because I know that my investments are working for me. They are paying me dividends to actually fund my life. And that is exactly what you get from dividends, guys, okay? It's that dependable income that comes your way regardless of what you do, okay? You could be going to work. You could be just lying in bed or on the sofa playing video games, okay? It doesn't matter. Those dividends will get paid to you regardless of what happens, okay? And they're very likely to be even higher the next year, okay? And to me, at least in my opinion, that is the real meaning of being rich, okay? It's not being able to afford a Rolex, okay? I've got a Casio watch. It's certainly not a Rolex. It doesn't mean being able to go and buy a Porsche car or a BMW, okay? It's having that time freedom. To me, that's what being rich means. Of course, it doesn't help that you've probably amassed this massive portfolio worth a lot of money, okay, technically, you probably are rich, okay? But what's important is that you get that passive income that doesn't require any work from your part, okay? And it's basically very good for lazy people, okay? I'm a fairly lazy guy. Maybe you're also lazy, or maybe you don't consider yourself lazy, but you really like to relax and you really like to meet up with your friends and spend time with your family, okay? And maybe you don't want to invest in real estate, or maybe you don't want to invest in a business or in stocks that are very risky, okay? Very volatile. You know, you want to be able to sleep well at night. And this is perfect for this strategy, guys, okay? Dividend growth investing. You can sleep well at night. You can be sure that these companies will keep paying you dividends, and in the long run, they will also grow their stock prices. Also, another fact that's awesome is that dividend growth stocks, right? The companies that pay these dividends and grow them every single year, they also tend to be less volatile than the overall market, okay? So while the market's doing these crazy things, your stocks might only be doing, this, right? So that's better. It means you feel less emotional about your investments, okay? Now, guys, that was it. That was what I wanted to talk to you about. Now, this is now the end of the video, and I'm going to reveal what I promised earlier in the video. And that is a way for you to get started or for you to continue your journey, okay? Because I'm going to reveal an ETF, an exchange traded fund that you can just buy within your brokerage account. And this ETF is called the ProShares S&P 500 Dividend Aristocrats ETF, okay? The ticker symbol is Noble, N-O-B-L. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but a Dividend Aristocrat, if you don't know what that is, it's one of these companies that pay dividends and have been increasing the dividend for over 25 years straight, okay? Through recessions, through bad times, they've increased that dividend regardless, okay? Some have been doing it for like 50, 60 years, okay? So you've got great companies in there. Now, one thing that I think makes ETFs or any fund in general really, really good for beginners is that instead of buying one stock or buying a few stocks, right? You're actually buying a basket of stocks, okay? So you are immediately very well diversified. You've basically, you're putting all your eggs in different baskets as opposed to in one basket, okay? Which is a very bad mistake that, beginner investors make. They'll buy one stock or two stocks, maybe some Facebook stock or something fancy like Tesla, and that's all the stocks that they will have. And that's bad because, you really need that diversification. And if we go here and we see the holdings that this ETF has, that the Noble has, have a look at this, right? Target Corporation, Procter Gamble, Medtronic, AT&T, PepsiCo. You should recognize a lot of these companies because they are just very large companies. You might actually be using some of these without even realizing. Obviously, a lot of these are American. In fact, all of these are American, but they are mostly global companies, okay? So yeah, when you buy into this ETF, you are immediately a part owner of all of those companies. And if you want to see how well this particular ETF has fared in the last few years, let's have a look at the performance, okay? Because this is pretty sensational. The average yearly returns that this ETF has made since it began existing, right? Since its inception has been 12.27%. 12% per year, guys. That is amazing, okay? There's not many other investments that are going to give you that kind of return on your money. So that was the end of the video, guys. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for all the support that you guys have been giving my channel. Honestly, I really appreciate it. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, okay? It really helps my channel to grow. It tells the YouTube algorithm that, this video is good and that I should show it to more people. Also, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, okay? I release these videos weekly, and if you want to learn more about dividend growth investing, then you're in the right place, okay? Also, before you go to the comments below and let me know if you already invest, what is your favorite dividend paying stock or your dividend paying ETF, okay? Let me know in the comments below, or like, subscribe, or all of those things, okay? I will see you in the next video. Hope you have a good one. Bye.